What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Husband Podcast. I'm your host, Terry DeRon. I got both of my co-hosts on the line with me. I got my man, Jay Bible. What's good, man?
Not much, man. Looking forward to getting to another great episode for tonight. But want to remind you, you can follow us on TikTok as well as subscribe to us on YouTube at hoetohusbandpodcast. Also, for those interested in promos on the podcast or advertising, you can shoot us a DM at hoetohusbandpodcast on IG. And you shoot us an email as well at hoetohusbandpodcast@gmail.com. All right, T.
I also got my man SD in the building. What's good, man?
Nothing, man. Excited about this here episode. So ready to get this on the road. But first, I want to give a shout out to Brother Soul Productions for always keeping the background audio fresh. And I want to remind you all to donate to the Hold a Husband podcast on Cash App and PayPal.
I want to remind everybody, y'all can catch the audio playback of the podcast every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on thecore94.com. Tonight's episode is titled Too Many Options. And we wanted to have a discussion about how technology and society has kind of misled people into thinking they have more dating options than they actually do. But y'all know how we do around here, man. Before we get into our topics, we like to discuss stuff that we've seen trending or on our timelines. And so we've got two interesting videos to discuss this week. This first video is a couple of women. I don't know if these women are strippers or if they work in the sex industry, but it's a video of two women trying to guess one another's body counts. Let's take a listen.
Who do you think has a higher body count?
Oh,
I don't even know.
guys and girls.
Yeah, what are we
talked about
counting?
this.
Guys and girls or just guys?
If we're doing-
Guys and girls. Do you think that you could guess each other's body count?
I'd say you're at like 40.
Okay, I would give her around 50 or 60, maybe.
Are we right?
Okay, so you're guessing that she's at 40, and you're guessing that she's
50
at
or
60
60, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about her answer, 40?
I'm not offended. I'm fine with that.
It's a good
Are you
number.
good?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a good number.
So
We're doing good.
is she right? Is she close to being right?
She's close.
Okay.
She's close.
What's your number?
53.
Oh, wow, you know it like to a T.
Yeah.
I do not know mine. I'm definitely like probably, I think I told you like 60, 70, I
Okay,
think.
so close.
Yeah, with girls and guys, yeah, definitely.
Oh, 67.
Wow, we were right on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are good.
Told you, we vibe. We know each
Yeah.
other.
Now, it's rare to hear women being as brutally honest about
Let's give these whores a round of applause. So I just wanted to give the whores a round of applause. Man. You gotta applaud. You have to applaud proud hoes, okay? Let's get these hoes. Go ahead, Terry. I'm sorry. I just want to give them their flowers. I want to give them their flowers at the beginning of the talk.
Well, I mean, it's very rare to see women being this open about their body count because we know historically women lie about it. To me, I think that it's something that is really overrated because it's something you can't prove or verify. And so I always would pay attention more to a woman, how she moves, how she handles herself, right? And that's the thing when it comes to hoes. You can tell a woman that's a hoe by her behavior and her attitude towards linking up with guys. And that's why most guys don't want those type of women to be who they date long term. What y'all think of the video and what are y'all thoughts on body count overall?
Well, first off, I want to say that I know that vehicle that they sitting in because I've seen it. And I've seen it on the video where the video starts off like doom, 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 doom. You know that Pornhub video? That's yeah. Yeah, I've seen that writing because I've seen it on they got like a page where these here women they interview these women. And I looked at that page, and it's a porn bus where they go in that bus and have sex with dudes in that bus. So that's why they so open and free about their body count because it's public knowledge. They getting DP, that's double penetrated on film in multiple videos. So I mean, you really can't hide it at that point. But I think for most men, it's relevant. but we can't verify it, like you said, Terry, because the fact of the matter is this: most men do not want to wife a hoe, a known hoe that they know are hoes. Like then she like, yeah, I'm around 67 body. Hey, don't no man really want to marry no chick like that. But plenty of them will sleep with her because we don't have any requirements for having sex. Most men out here, like she gonna get plenty of dick. Like she gonna have a problem with that. But when she done with a porn career and she wants to get a man and a husband, it's a famous porn star out right now that just put out a video and how hard it is to find a man to take her serious, because most dudes don't want to take a woman like this serious. That's why so many women lie about their body count and delete men for being small, for being quick, or whatever the case, and not really want to talk about it because they know how men are going to view them, and for good reason in my book. Jay, what you think?
Man, all great points here. I mean, hey, you got to give it to her. At least she's open. Hey, if you're going to be a hoe, be the best hoe that you can be out here if you're going to go that route. But like you said, she might want to settle down one day, and she's going to go back and look at this video like, damn, what was I thinking? Now, who you was referencing, SD, was Miss Maya Khalifa when she came out with that video, and she's been in the porn industry for some years, and now she's trying to be white. But everybody can go back, if you search or Google her name, her stuff's gonna come up from Pornhub, X videos. So nobody wants somebody who everybody's seen her bare butt cheeks, everybody's seen her titties, her areolas, her nipples, seen all that, knows what her vagina looks like. Hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, and they don't want that.
Yeah, I think whenever we have this conversation, women will talk about their double standards. Men are being hypocrites because you'll sleep with her, but you won't wife her, as if it's not common knowledge that we view those two things drastically different, right?
Yep.
But when it comes to hoes, the reason why it's frowned upon for women is because women don't have to do anything to get sex. Those two women, it's easy for them to get 50, 60, 70 bodies because they don't have to do anything. It's going to be, unless you're talking about some celebrities or some professional athlete, it's going to be, you're not usually going to find several guys that are very successful with women like that, because it's a skill set to be able to especially when it comes to the attractive women that lots of guys want. And so the reason that they frown upon the hoes is because it's a judgment on her decision making and her standards for giving herself to a guy. I don't necessarily care, or I don't, like I said, you can't verify it in the first place. But how a woman moves in regards to who she sleeps with matters way more than the number or the frequency. And I think most guys, as long as you establish some type of connection with the dude before something sexual happens, then you good. It's the women that are sleeping with strangers and dude, or just because he's rich or he's famous or something like that, that guys don't really respect.
I'm with you, Ted. What I do is look how she moves, look at certain behaviors, even things like such as tattoos, like for example, tramp stamp. I would definitely look.
I like tramp stamps personally. I ain't never been with a woman that had one, but that it's a turn on to me.
Not when it say Dwayne on the back of that son. What's Dwayne? Like, you don't like it then. Like, you know what I'm saying? It depends on what it is. But listen, I'm all for women being hoes if that's what you want to do. My thing is this, and it's really not. It's really not a double standard, because a hoe is a man or a woman. It ain't a woman.
True.
So you can be a hoe. The only thing is, later on in life, don't complain about the consequences of being the hoe that you were, because it's going to matter later on. Because like you said, Jay, you pay attention to characteristics and things like that, right? When I talk to the women about men that are in their hoe phase, men that are in their hoe phase or that have been hoes, people can typically tell. He talks well, he looks nice, he's got money, he just carries himself a certain way to where women know, like, he had chicks back in the day. I can guarantee it. So let me tell y'all ladies, when men that have been out here and dealt with a lot of women, when we meet y'all and we pay attention to your social media, we pay attention to how you dress, how you talk, how you think, all of these here different things we pay attention to, we can tell you've been out here and you was a slut. We can tell. Like it's not hard. It's not hard to tell. Just like a man gives off signs, so do y'all. So if you gonna be a hoe, be a proud hoe. Just don't try to shame the men for not wanting to be with y'all because y'all want to be with the men because y'all like the men that can be hoes or that were hoes back in the day. Y'all love those types of men because they got all the characteristics that y'all love. They got the personality, the looks, the finances, all of those things. Whereas men don't want to seriously date or marry women that were hoes later on in life when they want to settle down. So you have to deal with the consequences of that.
Because I mean, especially when he's, like you said, once he's at the phase in his life where he's making good money, he's able to provide for a family and all that.
No way.
His value on the dating market is exponentially higher, even though he was being successful with women when he was broke or when he was in college or high school, whatever the case may be.
Hold on. I want to make this real quick point. And this is one of the major reasons why. When you actually look at the statistics of fathers that are tested for kids, 30 to 40% are not the biological dad. 30% that are paying child support for kids that aren't theirs because they got with a woman that was a hoe. They didn't know it was a hoe. She was a hoe. Slept with somebody else and got this man paying for her baby. So that's a major reason why guys don't want to wife up hoes because, hey, Tupac once said, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. All right, and it's a lot of truth in that. People try, but it typically don't last long when you try to turn a hoe into a housewife. And that's why a lot of men don't want to be bothered with women that are that way when they want to be serious, because they don't want to be paying for a kid that's not theirs, because it happens more than we know. And even more, the highest percentage of men that it happens to, Black men.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
that's a relatively high number, almost 50%. That's almost half. Shit.
Yep. Almost.
Yeah, man, it's
30
brutal.
to 40%.
Dang.
All right, man. Let's keep the ball rolling. This next video was a video that went viral of a lady giving her perspective on what men should do in order to take her on a date. Let's take a look.
I expect a man to pay for the date. Yes, the whole entire date. That includes my Uber to the date and my Uber back to my house. If you are a man that I'm interested in, I want to see that you can provide for me. I want to see that you can afford an Uber ride. I want to see that you can afford a nice dinner date. Like, can you afford basic things? Because if you can't afford dinner and an Uber, my transportation, you certainly can't afford kids. You certainly can't afford a house. You certainly can't afford my bills. And I got bills to pay. Okay?
And when I see videos like this, man, it really makes me question the level of self-awareness that people have in the world today. Because, I mean, not only does it show how flawed a lot of women's evaluation system or the things that they judge, a man refusing to pay for your Uber to come meet him from somewhere where he's paying for the food is not an indication of anything except that he's not willing to do what you asked him to do. You know what I mean? Like, he can't pay for kids. He can't. Like, that's the stupidest thing, right? Like, so we know that a man's going to be motivated to do those type of things based on how attracted to you he is. And sis, you are a very, very, let's say a 4. I say a 4. Glammed up, she's a 4. Overweight. Just a lot of guys that could afford to do what she's asking wouldn't even allow her to give them oral sex. So she just needs to sit down somewhere and get some realistic expectations to me.
Listen, man. Listen. A woman like that, she better be happy with a man making $50,000. She better be happy. All right. When you are that facially challenged, there's no way you think that you have the leverage that you have. You know, the equivalent of her is a 40-year-old man making tacos at Taco Bell. That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent to her in the finance standpoint for men, because men are judged a lot based off of our finances, right? And we just being real with it. Most women out here that's grown women would not be bothered at all with a man that's making tacos at Taco Bell, especially if he said, listen, when I take a woman out, she gotta be bad. And then she got to do this, and she got to do that, and she got to do this. So I can see that she got to cook me a meal so I can know that she can take care of her home, and he making $40,000 a year. That's the equivalent of what men see when they see an overweight woman that's not all that attractive come out with these here demands. I know she's a plus size model or whatever.
Even if she was attractive, even if she was a gorgeous
it'd be
woman,
easy to take.
It's still unreasonable to me to have that. You got to pay for me an Uber to meet you there, pay for everything. Like that's unrealistic for anybody to me. Unless you're dating a celebrity, I can see a celebrity sending a limo or some driver to pick a woman up or something like that. But that's not for the average dude. That's unrealistic.
I mean, first of all, a man, he's not obligated to pay for your way of transportation of getting to the date. That's number one. And you see these videos flying around where these women just are so entitled. A man need to do X, Y, and Z. And here's the killer part about it. She doesn't say anything she has to offer in that relation. These are probably the same I am the table type of women, right? Like, sis, date your pay grade. I say date your pay grade here. Like, that's
out of line, SD.
Well, I'm right. But this is what I'm saying. Like, come on, man. Like, you talk about all of this here stuff that he gotta do. Well, it don't mean he can't pay for kids or he can't pay for a house if he don't want to buy your Uber. Like, listen, I'm already going out with a 2. Cut me some slack. Cut me some slack.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so a dude that is willing to date her, if she's giving these ultimatums like you got to do this or else I'm not gonna date you, he's not gonna feel like he's taking an L. You know what I'm saying?
Like if I could pay, like you want this guy to be paying for all of this stuff, man. The least you can do is be in shape. We ain't even talk about facially attractive right now. We talking about the least you can do is be in shape. You want a man that's coming in and showering you with this, doing this, paying for your Uber, because you want to see all of this stuff in him. Like, come on, man. Like, even though an Uber ride, like, I don't know most men. I've never done it because Uber only been out maybe 10 years. I've never paid an Uber for a woman to meet me at a date.
So since you still single and you still in the streets or whatnot,
yeah.
When you go on a date with a woman, do you go pick them up or do you meet them at the date location?
Now it's been more meeting them there. Now, like, I'm not sending no car to come get you. I ain't never even thought about it because most people out here have cars. Now, I don't know if she don't have a car and live in a place like New York or something like that. But come on, man. This is our time going out, whatever the case. Like, hey, the least you can do is meet me there. I'm paying for it, you know what I'm saying, the meal,
right?
Whatever else we gonna do, you could just meet me there. Like,
it sounds more like she's trying to be independent. She's like, I got bills to pay. Hey, can he take care of this, that, and the third? Like, you ain't talking about how you can be a helpmate to him. What do you have to offer? Can you be an asset to that man's life? Sounds like you're more of a liability than an asset to that man. Whoever
facts.
You.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, T. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure her friends are not telling her the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's clear with that mentality she's not having dating success. And like I said, she ain't cute enough to be having all these type of demands.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, go ahead.
With men, women have no problem telling a man, stay within your financial lane. Mm-hmm. You don't make enough money to date a chick like that. Women have no problem saying that to a man, and I agree with them. Most men will say, yeah, he only making $45,000, $50,000. He probably need to stay out of Bernice Burgo's DM. That probably ain't where you want to be, bro. Like, that's a little too much. You're being unrealistic as a man. Now, when we flip that,
but when men are unrealistic, they just don't have any success. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get it, but this the thing. Like, they don't have any success then either outside of sex. Men will do it to have sex with a woman. They'll pay for your Uber and all. They'll quit. They will.
Case by case basis. Case by case basis.
Maybe not for her, but I guarantee you, if that woman was
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe not for her. And it might be a lane that'll do it for her. But ain't no way, sweetheart, you better ride your bike. I ain't sending you no not you. Not you.
Go get if you in New York, you can get a city bike. You can rent a city bike.
Hey man, you better get a skateboard or something and meet me down there, because I ain't paying for you no Uber. No way. And now and it's on my account, and this Uber dude see you getting in the car under my account. Like, this who you taking out? Bruh, he gonna charge me double for going out with you.
Yeah, can you imagine, like, so you meet the chick and you ain't met her in person, you pay her Uber and then she show up
like that, and then use AI photos, filters, 20 pounds of makeup, and you think you getting somebody totally different, and she show up like that, you gonna reimburse me right now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Reimburse me because you catfished me.
Yep.
Facts.
Get on FaceTime.
All right, man. Let's keep things rolling, man. It's been a minute since we was able to get to any of our DM questions. If y'all are interested in having your question, your situation discussed on the podcast, continue to submit them to us through our DM on our Hold a Husband podcast Instagram page. What we got in the DMs, SD?
This one is from Quay. Quay says, a guy I've been talking to for 7 months didn't wish me happy birthday, so I blocked and deleted him and stopped talking. Was I right for doing that? What y'all think?
To me, that seems a little bit extreme. I can understand a woman being upset you forgot my birthday or whatever, but to block to block somebody that you were dating for 7 months over something like that, to me, that is not something that makes somebody undateable. You know what I mean? Like, he might not celebrate birthdays. That might not be a big thing to him. Like, it could be several reasons. People forget their mom's birthday. Men forget their wives' birthdays from time to time. So, to me, that's a little silly and childish in my opinion.
Man, you know what happened to me one day? I was riding to work one morning, and my mom called me. She said, how does it feel to be 38 at the time? I was 38. I was like, oh man, I forgot. Today was my birthday. I completely forgot. Like, and I think that a lot of men, a lot of times, just aren't as detailed with stuff like that about women, because most of the time, I'm not even gonna lie, most men that I know don't really get nothing for their birthdays or ever have. So it don't be all that important. Women plan brunches, they plan trips, they plan dinners. They got all this stuff planned for their birthday, whereas men,
most guys don't.
You going to strip club? Yeah, let's go to strip club, see some titties. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And that be the end of it. Like, men don't really...
Unless it's a significant 40, 50, you know what I'm saying? Like, it got to be a significant birthday for most guys to go all out. But you got to be lame as hell. Like, if a guy got mad at one of his homies for forgetting his birthday,
I ain't never seen that from no guy.
I ain't never been mad at another man to forget my birthday.
But women lose friendships over it.
Oh,
they lose.
Absolutely. For not going to the dinner.
Yeah, they will lose friendships over it. And so a guy, like, it's been 7 months. So I can kind of understand it a little bit, because it's been 7 months. But at the same time, to completely cut him off, block him, and delete him, I think that was a little jumpy the gun, because he might be a really good dude. And you gonna cut him off for that? I don't know how many of these here good dudes you think you're gonna run into out here.
Exactly.
But, you know, you can't be cutting them off like that for that type
this
stuff.
Is definitely extreme. Like, this shouldn't be a deal breaker or make or break in a relationship, especially if the relationship is going well. If, let's just say, he did 99 things right and you focus on one thing, I mean, that's a little extreme there.
That's
I mean,
totally
we
right,
don't
though.
know what the scenarios. I mean, listen, it could be done to things. He forgot, right? Maybe he was working a double-edged job, working 16-hour shifts, worked long days.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you work long shifts, and I've worked doubles, you tend to forget certain things. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but on the real, like, unless you're talking about your birthday for the past couple weeks or something like
Right.
that, unless it's just been part of y'all's conversation, like, how often do you talk about that? Like, most guys are not one of the, you on this story 24 hours for, like how women count down
Yeah,
their
yeah,
birthday
yeah,
and
yeah.
Sagittarius season and all that. Like, I don't
Yeah.
really see guys doing all that. And so a woman to hold a guy to that standard, like you better. I'm pretty sure she didn't just want him to remember. Like if he had just said "Happy Birthday," that wouldn't have been enough. Like
Been
this
something else.
sounds right. She sounded like she had expectations of. She wanted to be surprised on her birthday, and she wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like she. Right. If he had just told her "Happy Birthday," I think she still would have been upset and had an issue with that. So it wasn't just a forgetting the birthday. It's not. He didn't do what I expected him to do for my birthday.
And I bet you her girls played a lot of part in that too.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, get rid of him because he didn't even remember your birthday. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of him. I can guarantee it because misery loves company, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really does.
Listen,
But they're not in a position to be cutting off dudes for stupid reasons.
They don't feel that way because they got 100 guys in their DMs trying to sleep with them.
Exactly. Look, if you listen, man, and this was a good dude and the relationship was going well, man, unblock that dude and go work that out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. I was gonna say if I was the dude and I got blocked over that,
Get you.
unblocking me ain't gonna change nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it would change. To me, that would be something that would get her taken to a just smash only type of situation. Yeah, like so she might have messed up a good thing with a silent dude.
Yeah. You text her like, hey, what's your throat doing? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to know how you doing. I want to know how your esophagus is doing from now on because you done cut me off for some nonsense. So forget you.
Right. All right, man. We about to take a quick break, y'all. When we come back, we're gonna be getting into tonight's topic: too many options. Y'all guys are tuned into the Hold a Husband podcast. We'll be back in a minute. Hi, I'm relationship coach and author Terry Duran, and I am pleased to announce that my book, It's Not That Complicated, is finally available as an audiobook. So if you don't like to read or you just don't have time to read a paperback book, this audiobook is perfect for you. You can listen to it while you're in your car, while you're at work, etc. In the book, I break down how husband material men think and operate in regards to sex, love, and relationships, and I provide real quality insight on how husband material men approach dating. The audiobook is available on audible.com and on iTunes. All you have to do is go to one of the websites and search for my name, Terry Duran. Go download your copy today. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Hold a Husband podcast. Tonight's episode is titled Too Many Options. And we just wanted to have a discussion about how technology and society overall has kind of warped people's perceptions of themselves on the dating market. Now, there are a couple reasons for it, right? Everybody seems to believe that they have a whole bunch of options when it comes to selecting who they want to be with. And so we see standards and dating expectations have really gotten very unrealistic, I would say. When it comes to technology or whatnot, now that y'all both single, what are y'all thoughts on what y'all experiences as far as dating expectations of women?
Women's dating expectations definitely have skyrocketed. And a lot of it's because of social media, because they see a lot of different memes. They see a lot of different women, famous women, getting a lot of things, men paying for they just to go out with them or doing all these extravagant things. So now you get a lot of women now that expect those things from men, especially. But the crazy part is it's not even really the really pretty women now that's really expecting those things. Like back in the day, the really pretty women used to expect, certain things from men, and you understood why. You say, man, she bad. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to come up off that money for that, right? But now you got 4s and 5s that's barely average, saying that, you know what I'm saying, they deserve all of this here stuff that a man gotta pay for, and the man don't even get her pretty and in shape. Like, I'm sorry. Like, they don't understand. They don't understand the types of men that they want. They don't understand the requirements that those types of men want them to have outside of the bedroom. That was really hurting them.
No doubt. I say the same thing. I think with social media and the internet in this day and age, it has warped a lot of these women's perspectives, because now they think they're better than what they actually are, or overvalue themselves because they have, 100 guys in their DMs trying to take them to Pound Town. They confuse that. Well, you know how many guys want me? Like, I saw that. I think it was on tonight's conversation where somebody said that. And it's like, well, these are dudes trying to sleep with you. These aren't dudes sitting there offering you a ring or offering to be your husband and you be their wife. So I think women's perspectives are warped because of that. And then they have all these unrealistic demands and expectations. And from what I see is they tend to flock to all these trends because, a content creator says, hey, this is what a man should, or spiritual world says, post this woman saying this is what a man, and then everybody's flocking to that.
Yeah, I mean, now I see. Well, I know I've done study in grad school about how a guy being on Facebook increases his opportunities for sex. So for the guys that have success with women in real life, social media definitely increases their options for women. Those type of guys are never struggling to find a woman that would commit to them or be willing to have sex with them. And so social media and technology just opens up and makes it a lot more efficient for them to meet new women and to be able to have the conversations that it takes to get to Pound Town.
Quick question for you, T. I know there was a recent study several months ago about dudes are having less sex because of all these dating apps. What's your thoughts on that?
Mm-hmm.
I think that only applies to the guys that struggle with women in real life. I've always focused on the guys that have had success with women. So guys that have the charm and the conversation and all that to be able to meet women in real life and talk them out their panties per se. Those men having a text conversation or a conversation through digital means is nothing to them. They can still make chicks laugh and get a chick interested and create that sense of trust that it takes to get from stranger to lover with a woman. But the problem is it makes it more difficult, or it requires a guy to have more discipline, even if he does get in a relationship, because you can get caught up very easily through social media.
Yeah, speaking as one of those guys that can, you know what I'm saying, that has success with women personally, when you get into social media, it's just another avenue to express or show your personality, your charisma, those types of things, man, to where it just will bring you more women. When you are a certain type of guy that carries yourself a certain type of way, when you're successful outside, it just translates over to social media for those guys. But that's a small percentage of men. So there is a subset of a lot of unrealistic men out here that are really, just for lack of better words, average type of guys that believe, because of what they see on social media all the time with all these here pretty women, every time they go to their Explore page, they follow all the booty models, they follow all the gorgeous women, that they should be able to get one of those women regardless of their financial status, how they behave as men, how they carry themselves, how they think, all of these types of things. So it's unrealistic men out there also. It's not just the women and what they expect. It's also on the guy's end. But the difference is that if a man is not up to par financially at the least, he's not going to even be able to smell a titty from a chick that he's dreaming about, right? But a woman, if she's not up to par, she can still get sex from the guy that she actually dreams about in life, because he'll still have sex with her, but he wouldn't wife her. So that's the only thing which in turn makes women more unrealistic, I think, in the dating world, because being women, they still get the option of sex. Men don't, because it's not going off of their looks like that so much. It's going off of their finances and how they carry themselves, right? To get in order to be able to get sex with women. And if they don't have those things, they're gonna struggle. That's why 30%
or they gotta
of men
pay
in the
for it.
States, or they gotta pay for it. That's why 30% of the men in the United States, all-time high, being virgins, and 63% under 30 and under are single and at home jacking off and watching porn, because it's tough for them. It's tough for them because they just not up to par, and it just is what it is.
Well, the biggest reason, one of the biggest things, right? We know that women's dating success is largely based off of their appearance, and they have an infinite amount of things that can enhance their beauty, make them hide they fat, hide they shape. You know what I'm saying? Make them more attractive than what they actually are. And so it gives a lot of them an overinflated ego, because their ego starts to get centered around how they look when they're going out, or how they look in their stories and their pictures, not how they look in person. And so I would always make it, guys, you kind of have to train yourself. Focus on how a woman looks naked in her natural state, because that'll help keep you from idolizing and catching feelings over a chick that only looks that way because of the makeup and the enhancements. But if guys had as many ways to make them, guys can try to appear like money, but you can only fake the funk so long when it comes to that. But you don't have to have money to have success with women. You know what I mean? Like, the conversation, the charm, and actually the heart to be able to shoot your shot is really the essential components that a guy has to have.
Yeah, you know what's getting them now? I seen a woman follow me. I said, man, this here woman is pretty. I looked at a bio picture, right? And once I got on her page, I'm like, hold on a minute. Wait a minute now. What is going on here? What is this? It was an AI photo of her. It was just her face. What? But it was they got this AI app now that'll change over they pictures. They can put their face on a whole nother body. And I was like, wait a minute, this body was banging. I said, this chick here, like the first 3 or 4 pictures, I was like, man, then when I kept going, I'm like, hold on a minute. This chick looked like Esther Roll on here. Like, ain't no way. This ain't the same girl.
I thought the AI photo just like make you look older or younger.
No, they got whole bodies. Yeah. Yes. It's an AI page. It's an AI page that they done created of some, like, it looked like a supermodel. It looks so real. Big titties, everything. Got 80,000 followers and an OnlyFans. They are all AI photos, bro, that somebody just created, and all these men up under there. It says AI girlfriend in the bio. So it's not real. But all these men under it with hard eyes, man. Thousands of comments. Oh man, look at them titties. And I'm looking like, these dudes are out their mind. Bro, it's so many ways for women to deceive not only us, but themselves. They do it every day. It's so much harder for a man because we got to go outside raw. Most men don't use filters.
Right up.
Most men don't use filters, right? And most black men, I don't think, are out here using toupees or hair pieces to try to hide their baldness. So some do, but the most aren't, right?
Most
Whereas
don't.
women, yeah, man, they get lipo, they get titties, they get BBL, hair, nails, eyelashes, eyebrows drawn on, push-up bras, booty pads, waist trainers, all of these things to change their appearance on social media.
Give them an advantage. It makes them more attractive initially. You know what I mean? Like,
of course,
that ain't gonna get them a relationship, but it'll get them some sex for sure.
Well, yeah, when I get with you and you got 2 fupas, yeah, I'm gonna be mad. Like, wait a minute, where these fupas come from? This wasn't in your pictures online, so I think it's deceiving. Me personally,
absolutely, it is.
You know what I'm saying? I really do, because a lot of women talk about men lying. Well, sweetheart, man, all your pictures on your page is a lie. You got filters, hair, all this here other stuff. To me, that's lying, just a different form of it. Because you're trying to pass off for something that you're really not. So
right, I mean, but guys, a lot of guys ain't gonna pass it up. You know what I'm saying? Like
Of course not.
guys that can't get a attractive woman once they get money or get some famous or go viral and get some followers or whatnot. Guys are looking for anything that they can do to just get in the game, right? And by any means necessary. That's why they buy gifts and do all these different things that they've been told that women like. Um, but that's not going to make him desirable. Like, I don't think guys can learn swag. They can't learn how to be cool and how to interact with women. Um,
It's tough.
well, I take that. I think it's something that's learned, but you got to start learning that
Early.
as a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah. You as a teenager writing notes and having conversations with girls and stuff like that. Like how to be able to steer a basic conversation into some flirty sexual tension type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like those are skills that men have to develop in order to be able to create those kind of scenarios in real life. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like so.
It's tougher now. It's tougher for them to develop that because everything is impersonal now. It's all phone based stuff. So it's hard, man. They don't get to see, men now, growing up and get to really see men approaching women and talking to them and stuff like that. They don't get to see it. Everything is on the phone. So now they more socially awkward when they do come to actually talking to a woman or carrying conversation with a woman. And most women find that unattractive. And it really knocks a lot of dudes. It puts a lot of dudes in the friend zone. They really do.
It's not like how it was back in the day for us, where we were actually going outside and interacting with people. Nowadays, a lot of these guys, they growing up in the Xbox era, the Fortnite era, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like I said, and the social media era.
Yeah.
So,
Even when you go to the club, what you see in the club? Everybody got
Everybody on their
out.
phone. Everybody on
they
their
got
phone.
their phone out. They're not even really interacting in the club. Whereas we used to go to the club back in the day, man, they play Doodle Brown. You got this chick stepping up on you, man. Everybody on each other, trying to dance, talk, all of that. Now, it just ain't that way. I'm glad I grew up when I did, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's I can't imagine being like 22 or 23 in today's society. There are a lot of ways to be able to, like I said, to meet new women, to be able to get on dating apps and all those type of things. But the face-to-face interaction is definitely lacking. And that's why the small percentage of men that have those skills are just maximizing it over and over and over again. Um, One thing that I do know, or I have noticed among, the bachelors or the guys that have had success with women, um, social media makes it harder for them to decide to settle down with the woman. Or what's a better way to put it? Social media reveals a lot more things that can eliminate a woman from wife contention.
does.
I think
Yeah,
that's a better way
absolutely.
of putting it. And I don't think a lot of women even realize that they're cutting off their potential options with the things that they post.
Yeah. And I'm in that boat because the options are there, but so many women eliminate themselves, man, with certain things that they do, with certain things that they post. And it'd be like, man, ain't no way I'll wife this chick. Even though she fine. Even though, on paper she looks good. But she went outside with pasties on her nipples or something like that. Like that's how you want to go outside? Or you on Justin LeBoy's page talking about how good you suck dick. Like that's what you do on social media. Like they don't, like you said, they don't really get it. They don't really get it that when a man is looking for a wife, everything you do is gonna be scrutinized even more, especially when he makes decent money. But when a guy ain't looking for that, which is most of the dudes that they interact with, he don't care about none of those things. So they continue to behave like that, thinking that, hey, I'm just going to get the man that I want doing what I've been doing because it's been working all this time, but it's only been working to get sex. And they don't realize that. They don't want to come to that realization because it's really going to require them to make adjustments. And they don't want to first admit that they wrong, and two, make the adjustments needed in order to get what they want. Yeah, because a lot of them got a lot of pride. Like, why should I have to compete? Why do I have to do this for a man? Well, yeah, you say you want to get married, right? Why wouldn't you?
I mean, listen, you compete for a job.
Exactly.
On the resume, you compete with other candidates for that job. So that's
for sure. And they'll compete tooth and nail for it too.
Yeah.
They'll do everything that's got to be done. If they say, hey, you got to get up at 5 o'clock and be in here at such and such, they're going to say, all right, you can't wear this. Okay. Your hair got to be like this. All right. They'll do it. But when it's for men and say, okay, you want somebody to provide and protect for you, baby, but you can't wear this like that. Oh, this is control. Okay.
But yeah, your social media can take you out of the wifey category and just put you in the pound town category. You know, like you say SD all the time, your social media is your dating resume. Like if you see a picture of her in her lingerie at night, you're gonna be like, I'm not taking her serious. Well, I don't want to see something that everybody else can see. You know, that's something that should be for the bedroom and exclusive to your man.
Yep, but you know what? I'm a double tap them titties though.
I'm a double tap. I ain't above double tapping that. Or you're taking, overly provocative pictures, like you got your tongue out, being overly sexual, showing your tongue.
Yeah.
Like,
it's gonna get you results, just not the results you want.
Exactly.
And the results they want, they just act like they don't.
There's one more thing that I wanted to point out that I think is really having an impact on people's perception of themselves. This idea of never settle, right? We have people that feel like they can't select one person because they're going to be missing out on potentially somebody better. And it's this kind of I guess hypergamy.
Hypergamy.
Is kind of how women do it. But that this idea that you're going to ever have this perfect person is not realistic. And especially when you also have to take into consideration you're not perfect. So anybody that gets with you, they're going to have to put up with your bad side as well. And I just don't think that many people have a realistic perspective on what it takes to have a real relationship, because they see other people's and they're going to compare their relationship to what they see other people post on social media.
Yeah, man, I hear a lot of women say this, I'm not settling, and she be 70, 80, 90 pounds overweight. Sweetheart, the men that you want are going to settle on you. We all are going to settle for something in somebody. And what I realize is that a lot of these women are looking for this unicorn man that only exists on a Pandora's page and in their minds. That's the only place this unicorn man exists. He don't exist nowhere else on earth. It's something that a man is not gonna have. He not gonna make all this money. Be emotionally intelligent, protect for you, provide, pay all the bills, do this so you ain't gotta do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Never get mad at you. This man don't exist. And a lot of them, husband that they should be getting is in their friend zone. Them where they husbands at right there. But they
the guys that's on their level.
Yeah. Absolutely. They looking for this unicorn while they got good dudes sitting in they friend zone. That when they turn 50, then they'll be, I just want a man. Notice what you hear from him. I just want a man that's good to me. You could have had a man in 30. You could have had
women do a lot of capping when they publicly talk about what they want. I was at an event this weekend where we were having a panel at the Women in Wine convention in Houston, and they asked some of the ladies what do they look for in husbands. And so me and the other guy Randall that was on the panel, about 2-3 minutes they talking honesty and his character and all these different things. Nothing about finances, nothing about money.
Intangibles.
Yeah, all this. Like, stop it, man. Y'all know that damn well that's not the main criteria that women look for when it comes to
absolutely not. But they know it.
But the thing is, like with these women, what do these women consider settling? Like for example, let's just say you meet a guy who makes $60K. Why not just get with a guy that makes $60K and build from there? See,
they don't want to build.
I mean, well, they want a guy that's at the a lot of women want a guy that's already at the finish line. They want
Yes.
him to be successful already. But the guy that's it creates a problem because the guys that have the money and have the success, they're going to be way more picky when it comes to women, and
Right.
they're actually SD's the anomaly. Like most guys ain't really looking to get married like him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like most guys are perfectly
That's right.
cool, perfecting being bachelors. And
Oh, I
so
perfected it. But
But
I would like to get married one day. Yes, man. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. You're 100% right. Like that's just what
you
it
know
is, man. Go ahead.
you know what it is with these ones? A lot of them aren't looking at the big picture. They're too short-sighted to look, 5, 10 years down the line. Let's just say you meet a man, he's just starting out in, let's say, the Chicago Police Department, right? After 5 years in Chicago, top pay, you're making about 6 figures with the Chicago Police Department. So those are things you got to look at. Where's his career? Where is he going? Is
right,
there upward mobility in the career that he's in?
In 5 or 6 years, are you gonna be down 70 pounds?
Right.
Like, look, be realistic with who you are. Is all I'm saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you want this man to be going a certain spot, or you want him to be somewhere. You got to be where you need to be too. Men are visual creatures, so give him what he wants visually. That's gonna put you in a different dating pool.
All these women want to say,
well, it's going to give you more opportunity. You're right, because
Right.
ultimately, the thing that's going to determine whether the relationship works or not is how pleasant you are to date. So that's going to come up with your day-to-day conversations, the things you get upset about, how you handle your frustration and conflict. All those are things that, I mean, really attractive women, a lot of them don't put much effort into correcting or improving those things because they don't have to. You know what I mean? Like they can block and delete a guy and just move on to the next, for lack of a better terms, because that they can. They perceive all these men that shoot they shot at them as long-term options when they're really not. Most of those guys are going to have the same conflicts that the previous men had, and so those women that find themselves in a cycle of casual dating or very short relationships.
Yep.
So hopefully we can start fine tuning some of these lenses that people are looking at themselves through, so we can get some more accurate a more accurate representation. Yeah.
Good luck.
Look like we are up against the clock. We about to get up out of here, man. But before we go, I want to give another shout out to my man, Brother Soul Productions, for keeping us late with our background audio. I want to remind y'all to continue supporting the podcast through our Cash App and our PayPal. JSD, man, I appreciate y'all linking up so we can get another episode knocked out. This has been another episode of the Ho the Husband Podcast, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.